So we get to the crossroads and we can either go to the blue zone, the yellow zone, or the green zone. And the blue zone contains the dark room and sort of mob farms and utility rooms. That is all passive mob farms. Sheep, cows, pigs, all of those are down there, chickens. And then this is sort of crop farming underground. So we'll start over here in the blue zone and we'll kind of do a clockwise motion around the whole base here. So we'll start in this room. This is the auto smelter that never ever got used. Basically, you would put your items in here. This was in case you needed to refuel. It would flash your light on and off if it needed fuel. Some glass in there. And this is where you would put all your stuff in. And this is where it would come out. And this is where you would refuel. This is just a little storage area. We have some crafting tables. And I really like this style of crafting table, the way it looks. Some anvils for decoration. Just to kind of fill out the room a little bit more. Pretty simple stuff. The redstone for this was not super complex. And again, you can take a look at all of this yourself. I've made it all presentable for you guys. So I'm not going to go any further than this, but you can kind of see hoppers going into the back for, I believe, items, and then at the bottom, they just go straight out into the chest when they're done. And the refueling is up there on the top. Pretty simple stuff all around. Nothing too hard on that. Again, I'm having to go through pretty quickly here, so that's the auto smelter. This is just a simple design I put together for a bulk storage area. And yes, all of these are filled with cobblestone. I'm not even going to look in all of them. We've got some extra dirt in here. All of those are filled with cobblestone. This is the final chest of cobble. That goes down to the branch mines, which I guess we'll take a look at now, the new branch mine. So this is, again, a redesigned area that I did more recently. I made my own cabin with TNT, retextured it all with sandstone, and I left the ores in the walls, added a few lava flows here and there. This is just purely decorative. There's no meaning to doing this. Kind of see we've got a lava pool below us there. Pretty cool stuff all around. Through here we have the actual final design of the branch mines. In here we have sort of like a minecart area, and that just goes off around that way. It just dead ends. We have some more workstations and furnaces and whatnot. A little dormitory here. Some bookshelves. Oops. And that's just an old branch over there. Made it look like it went somewhere. And that's pretty much it. These actually do work. The idea was that this was sort of like an emptying station, and you can change the tracks around. If you were to put minecarts on those rails, then feel free. But we don't have time to do all of that today. We're having to fly through everything as I say. We're probably not even a quarter done yet, so I'm going to try and keep on it, folks. So up here, there's really only one more thing to show, and that is the dark room trap. I believe, at least. I don't think there's anything else in the blue zone. There's not too much here, because this was a more recent development. So the dark room is right at the end, and you go in here. There's just a button, an on-off switch. We can bust through the wall though and take a look here at the dark room. There's a ladder. It's currently in the off position right now, but the idea is that mobs spawn, they activate the tripwires, it activates a shifting floor, and then they hit the ground, and the loot is collected by hoppers. And then we have this here, and what this is, and a slime instantly spawns. This is why I don't like coming down here. The idea is that straight after the loot is collected, it goes into that minecart chest, and then, are you going to climb that? I don't know if you can. You might be able to though, I don't want to risk it. Basically what happens here is the loot goes into the minecart chest, and when that gets full, it activates this redstone circuit, and then it goes off to be deposited into the storage system. So this is a fully automatic solution. There is nothing that is sort of manual to do with this. You just flick it on or off. I have it off at the moment because it does drag on the frame rate a little bit. And that goes off to a cave system that I never fully finished exploring. Another thing for the to-do list, to tear down that ladder and fill in that gap. But I'm pretty happy with this. It was one of the bigger builds for sure. Took a lot of redstone to build this as well. This is compatible with zombies, skeletons, creepers, witches, and endermen, I believe. I don't think there's anything else that is produced from this. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. It doesn't do spiders, and it doesn't do any nether mobs either, so I think that's it. It's one of the few dark rooms that I've actually seen that has the unique ability of being able to farm endermen consistently. Many of them don't have that ability. I chose enderman over spiders as I felt it would be more useful. And I already had a spider trap at the time anyway, so it was not a big deal. So we'll continue our clockwise motion here, and we will go through into the yellow zone. And we'll go into the yellow zone. This has a few mob farms in it. We have a pig farm over here. Well, I guess we'll start with this, one of the more recent additions. Very, very simple stuff. You just breed up the pigs here. There's a button down below that you activate that activates water from this dispenser so that the current goes this way, so that any pigs that are in here end up flowing underneath the half slab, because baby pigs are only half a block high. They land in this area here, and then when they've grown up, we activate the lava blade and it kills them, and we can collect their loot. We have the storage system option here, and this just activates that dispenser with water in it. Over here, the next one to check out will be the chicken farm. This is your standard chicken cooker. What we have going on here is we have a system of batch chickens, and then eggs flow into this hopper chain. We have a chest here if I want to store eggs at any given point, and then it flows down into this dropper or dispenser. That's the better term, dispenser. And it fires eggs, and every now and then it has a chance of laying a chick. And the chick grows up into the lava blade, and the loot is collected. Thank you. Into this chest here, and I have a center tier option. And this just enables me to collect eggs. Another job for the list, fill that in. Finding more and more things, just tiny little jobs in the grand scheme of things. This is my sheep farm in the colour wheel room with all the different wool in it. I can go around here, and this is not automatic. It was really difficult to make this any sort of convenient automatic system. So we have just a big circle, there's lots of sheep in it. I go around and shear them, collect their wool, and then I can either put the wool in here for storage if I want to get more. There's a dye's chest here. This is just a dispenser that has shears in it. Push that button, and I can collect the wool. Pretty cool, pretty simple. Then we have the cow farm. The cow farm is over here. This is a similar sort of system with the pig farm. You would put wheat in here, and then you activate a button down there that sort of raises them up and they float. You can breed them in a piston raisers, allowing baby cows to flow down into this section here. Then we have another lava blade right there. We have a carpet on this one because we can. It keeps the baby cows from sinking and regular cows into the actual hopper, preventing them from being burnt by the lava blade. And loot is just collected in that chest there. We have a center tier option as well if we ever want to do that. And then through here we have, that's pretty much everything to that area. Through here we can continue on, and we can choose the green option, and this will lead us to a few different crop farms. So we have a grass and mycelium farm, if I ever need those. This is not integrated because there was really no reason to have it integrated. You would use a silk touch tool to break the grass down up to behind that glass there, then you would replace it with dirt and it would regrow. Same for mycelium, pretty simple, not really automatic. This is my tall grass and fern farm. Enderman must have stole that block, it seems. And the idea here is that you would activate the dispensers, it bone meals them, and then you can grab a pair of shears. Do I have a? I guess not. And then you could shear them down, replant, and you could either go again or put the extras in the chest, like I have here. We've got plenty of tall grass and, well, plenty of ferns, not so much tall grass. Through here we have the vine farm. The vine farm is pretty simple. We have a shears dispenser here, and just break the vines with your shears. They flow down into some hoppers in the middle that guides it into this chest. and then it goes on to the storage system at the moment. I could turn that off if I wanted to. So if I ever need any vines, this is the place I come to get them. It all just flows into that water channel. Pretty simple again. This one is pretty automatic, you just got to shear the vines. That one actually was the first one that ever made it onto the side. I guess every now and then it does happen, but it's not a big deal. Most go in there automatically. We've already looked at this guy. So in here is the cocoa bean farm. The idea is you get a cocoa bean, you stand on the pressure plate and hold down right click, and there's bone meal in these dispensers that turns it into a fully grown cocoa bean, and the hopper picks up the loot. And that pretty much is all the devices around here. In this part of the base, we have some other devices over at the Mesa base, so pretty cool. And then we have the main storage room. This is called Tier. That stands for Tiered Item Archive, and this has basically every supply I can get a hold of. I spent a great deal of time filling up the chests, and it's sorted into various categories, sort of common themes. So dirt, soil types, clay, hardened clay, sort of raw resource blocks, cobblestone and variants, so smooth stone, mossy, slabs, stone bricks, and their variants, sand, red sand, and the sandstone types, quartz all up there, and netherables in there, sort of random bits, crafted goods, redstone, rail, minecarts, and boats, all of my ores in there, saplings and leaves. Sort of miscellaneous blocks, same thing up here, sort of miscellaneous blocks, obsidian and snow, bookshelves, those sorts of things, and wood. So we have stairs, slabs, planks, and the logs, chests, fences, doors, and trapdoors, just to kind of break it up. Have ender chests either side if I ever need those for whatever reason. Down here we have the second floor. This is more items than blocks. However, we do have a few items in here. This is where I store the dyed items. So, wool, clay, and stained glass over there. These two racks are empty. Brewing did used to be here before I moved it all into the auto brewer. So as you can see, I have lots of each different thing if I ever need it. Not all of these chests are that full because it was very difficult to get a hold of a lot of those resources, but there's at least something in every chest, so that was kind of the objective with that. This is all of my farmed goods, so wheat, seeds are in there, carrots, potatoes, melons, pumpkins, mushrooms in there, apples, and sugarcane, bone meal, cakes and cookies, and some bread in there. This is where the vines end up, and the vines we just sheared ended up in there, cocoa beans. See why I don't need to use the cactus farm, because we've got all of those. This is where the darkroom loot ends up from that minecart chest. We have a full chest of some of the resources here. I use some of them though. Slime balls I just get from this room because slimes occasionally spawn in here. Actually, occasionally is an understatement. This is sort of our passive loot, so leather, lots of feathers, flint, because I group flint with feathers because you make arrows with them, so it makes sense to put them near each other. Cooked chicken, eggs, steak, and pork chops. Only one pork chop, unfortunately. Never really got around to farming too many pigs. So that's pretty much the storage room. Oh, hello. How are you? Are you stealing my blocks again? Just went and repaired all that damage. This one is stained glass to keep slime spawning down as we are in those layers, so that's why the floor is glass and not clay like above. And that pretty much sums up the lab base. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about that I can particularly think of. So now it's onward to the nether part of my base and to the mesa beyond it. So let's go ahead and go to the nether portal, and then we will go through into the nether. Here's a couple of things to show. Then I will cut out the rail line, journey, and then we'll talk about the mesa base. So let's go through the portal. There we go. And this is sort of like a little cafe area, I guess. I always just seem to end up doing this for my nether portal. so that it's got some sort of protection. Storage, lots and lots of netherrack, an ender chest here if I need it, crafting. And then we climb this really tall ladder, and we have a number of options here. We have the rail line, which goes to the mesa, or the gold farm. We'll do the gold farm last. So, it's been a while since I've been up to the gold farm, actually. So, that'll be interesting to take a peek at. Again, after such a long time. So, the rail line is just a standard nether tunnel, which goes to the other part of my base at the mesa biome, which is where I get a lot of my resources from. Got a minecart here. This is a option to have more storage. I can bring minecart chests with me. Ender chest here, crafting table, all those sorts of resources and supplies. And then if we continue up the ladder, we go above the bedrock into above the nether. I use the dark oak trick to break a hole in bedrock. And then this ladder leads us up to the gold farm. And there's a drop-off point here, which is where the gold nuggets are collected. And then we can go up to the AFK spot beyond it. You have to get right up to the top for maximum efficiency here. Sounds like there's a gas below us. No mobs can spawn above the nether ceiling. Only mobs can spawn in the main nether or in the farm here. Everything else is half-slabbed. So this is our access point. I never got around to adding redstone lamps here. This is random loot and gold nuggets. Rotten flesh is dispensed. That goes via dropper into lava because I have a dark room for rotten flesh. I have enough of it. I don't need any more. And then this continues up into the main AFK chamber, I guess is the best way to describe it. And it's quite a climb. As you can see, we're all the way at past 240. We're going to be at, what is that, 250? Yeah. To jump up a little bit here. I don't know whether to take a peek at this or not, because the gas could spawn, and I don't really want it to spawn. I guess I'm going to be using a copy of the world download anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. As you can see, it's a shifting floor design. Gas end up getting captured in there, and they get suffocated. Pigmen are activated by the shifting floor, as are magma cubes, but they don't take fall damage. So with magma cubes, they end up just hopping around aimlessly until they hit cactus and die. That's the way that they work. And then their loot is collected by a series of minecart hoppers, which collect up all the loot and then deposit it in chests, which then gets funneled into that chest that we just looked at in this room. So, pretty simple stuff for the gold farm. This was another big project that took a lot of time and a lot of resources. The shifting floors are definitely resource heavy, but I think they're worth it because this thing will give me over a stack of gold blocks for every night that I have AFK at this. It's really, really useful. I built it on a number of worlds for various different purposes, and every time it's served me well, so I don't know why I'd stop now. I want to pick up that stone brick before I forget. There it is. I'm not going to go all the way back up the ladder, though, to replace that. I'm actually going to cut now. Kind of cut out the rail line journey, and we'll be back when I'm at the Mesa base. So I'll be back very, very soon. They see me rolling. Okay, so here we are at the Mesa base now, and we arrive through the portal at my iron golem farm, and we'll go outside to talk about that. That's probably the first and most obvious thing to talk about. So this is my iron golem farm, and again, credit where credit is due. This is Doc M's design, famous through the Minecraft and Zipground servers. Really good design, really efficient, really happy with my iron output from this. The reason I built this is that I needed a lot of iron all the time for building hoppers and so forth for the storage room. So I had to build a farm to just automate it. Trying to do it through caving would have just been a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. So it was kind of difficult. So I decided to build this, and it made things a lot easier. This is where the cabin used to stand. This just has random stuff in it now. Ooh. Take that back. I don't really want that stuff, and there's nothing in there. Those furnaces are empty. I've checked enough times. So that is the sort of main attraction here at the Mesa. Obviously, this is the place where I get a lot of my resources from. That's why I chose to build the iron farm here. This is the place where I get my hardened clay from. This is the place where I get my sand from. I also get stained clay from here of the types that I can. So as you can see, this is where I get my sand from. And the sand stretches way over there. That's how much I've gutted out of sand. I'm not going to take that trip. You'll be able to see it just fine on the map render. So I'm not going to waste your time with that trip. This is filling up with iron, so we'll leave that alone for the time being. And down here leads to an underground area. There was a mine shaft down here, and I actually used this mine shaft to my advantage, and I built a cave spider trap here, which is my main source of experience. This always has been at this base after the zombie grinder. I don't spend quite as long here. It's actually a really efficient trap. There's 2 spawners. I was actually hoping initially there was enough in range that I could have made it a quad spawner. The problem with that was, though, getting it all in. Around here I have potion brewing ingredients for damage potions so that I can blast them all in one hit. I have an automated solution for organizing string and spider eyes. This is my enchantment setup in there. I've also got an anvil in here in case I ever need to replace the anvil, which I probably will do. I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time here. This is probably one of the last places we're going to visit before we go into 1.8. I need to repair a lot of my equipment. The bow could definitely use a repair, probably the sword. I'll repair the shovel and the axe. I'll up the picks again. The armor, I'm probably going to go ahead and repair the armor anyway, even though it doesn't need it. Maybe even with just iron ingots, something like that. And then around here we have a skeleton spawner, and this is a simple trap for skeletons. There's just a standard mob crusher. This is just an AFK trap. This was before the dark room was built, so it wasn't really used as much after that, and it really hasn't been used in a long time. And that's really everything at the Mesa. It's just a big resource collection area. That's all I describe it as. There is nothing particularly special about it. It's just where I gather a lot of my resources. The main attraction, as I say, is the iron golem farm here, and hopefully I might be able to show you how that works if the iron is finished transferring. It has. So let the iron golem fall down. We let a bunch of them build up. We hit this button. There's a crusher in there that activates, and then the iron flows into that chest, and I can collect it as and when. So pretty good all around. Got more iron golems coming in from that tube there, ready to be killed in the next batch. Though I don't know, well, I guess I will have to clear it out before I leave, after I've done my repairs, because probably by then there'll be a number of them built up. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing on the Mesa portal side that's of note. I don't have anything built. There really is nothing. It's probably going to look like I'm going to split this video up into 2, so you're watching obviously part 2 now. I think this is going to equate to roughly around 50 minutes to an hour. So I will quickly show you the sand after all, and show you how much sand I've had to mine up throughout my time at this base. Quite a bit of sand, mainly a lot of it going into stained glass. Here's some sandstone. Hey buddy, I'm not interested in what you've got, thanks. So we go all the way up here, still not done yet, even further up this hill, and we go all around here, and this is where we hit the sand right here, and we've mined a lot of sand out. There is a few other things I have built around the world. For example, somewhere off in that direction is a flower farm, and credit where credit is due for that, thanks to Koala, I believe IEO is his username, Koala IEO, for the flower farm design. It didn't quite work as intended due to the biome placement, but unfortunately that is just what it is. I've never been back there since I built it, and I don't even know really where it is anymore, so there's no point me even trying to take that trek. There's not really anything out there anyway. But that's off in that direction. Around here I did do a bunch of exploring as well, and thoroughly explored this area. I went on a big adventure. The only biome that I didn't find that actually had a decent resource supply in it was Mega Tiger. I never got any Podsol, I believe it's called. I can never remember what that stuff is. But I can remember on this occasion, so that's pretty good. So I never ever found one of those in this world, unfortunately. Maybe we'll find one in the future. There's always time. We'll be no doubt going on many adventures in the future, and hopefully we'll find one then. So that's pretty much it, folks. There's not a whole lot more to say. I hope that you've enjoyed the world tour. I've had a lot of fun. Again, I didn't mean for it to seem rushed, but I kind of had to get through everything. And even doing it super speedy like that, we've still equated to probably just over 50 minutes all told. So to have spent a decent amount of time talking about everything, it would have taken hours. So I just tried to get through everything as quickly as possible, and we took a look at everything one last time. If you want to check out more yourself at your own leisure, then there will be a world download below for you to grab. It will be updated to this episode, episode 149. I'm going to go back through and I'm going to drop off these supplies, and I'm also going to fix those few things that we noticed over by the lab. Just a couple of small things like that stained glass and things along those lines. I will fix. I'll review the footage to see what it was exactly that needed tweaking here and there. I remember there being a light in the wheat farm and things like that that needed fixing, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will be releasing the world download as is. You'll probably find my character in the storage room somewhere along the line. That's probably where I'll leave it logged out, and you can use this video as a reference if you need to figure out where things are. I know some people might have trouble getting lost. I've had a few comments about that, people wondering how I keep track of where everything is in my base. So there will be this video here as a reference if you need to. If you have any questions about anything that I've built up my base, then feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will be trying my best to answer it, that's for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed our past 10 months together working on the lab and Mesa. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great journey. I know many of you have joined this journey while I've been working at the lab here over the past 10 months, and I hope that you can feel like you've shared this journey together with me, because I definitely feel that way. We've had a lot of fun, but now it's time to move on and explore some new things. There's a big update just around the corner for us to play, and I'm really excited about getting going on that very soon. Next episode we will be digging a tunnel somewhere off from this portal here, in the nether, of course. We're not going to dig a bridge from here, but we're going to make a tunnel in the nether, build another portal, and then wherever we come out will be where we start in 1.8. I'm going to upgrade as well and do all of that sort of stuff. For the sort of technical information, the world download will be available for 1.7.10 and 1.8. Any version up from 1.7.2 should be supported for this world download. I'm not going to go ahead and upgrade to 1.8 and then release it. I'm going to release it for 1.7 users as well. I do know a number of you are probably still on 1.7 like I am for various different reasons. Mods is a big one. A lot of servers are still recommending 1.7.10 at this time, so I can understand that, and I think it makes the most sense. So thanks for joining me, guys. It's been a lot of fun together, and I hope to see you in another episode again very soon. So until then, guys, see you later, and have a good day.